Hey everybody, it's Joe with Joyful Camping, and today we are going to be putting on a lift kit to this 2023 Rove Lite. It's a little bit breezy. I apologize if that's going to get caught in the microphone here, but the main reason is the last time I went out, I ended up ripping some wires out from the underside of it because they were drooping down and I didn't have quite enough clearance. Also, I've actually scraped, I don't remember exactly where it is, whether it was the bumper or whether it was something else. I have scraped before pulling out of my own driveway. So go figure on that one. But let's get this knocked out here. It's really not that hard of a job. So let's jump in a little bit closer to check things out. Well, as you can see here, I've got the trailer up onto jack stands, and I've also got a scissor jack under here to be able to control the movement of the axle once these shackles are off. Now, these shackles come in at about 2¼ inches from center to center, and the ones that I'm going to be putting on it here, as you can see right there, 3½ inches. So we are going to get a little bit of gain by putting these on here. So other than that, the tools that you'll need, the inside nut is an 11/16, and the outside is a 13/16. And one thing to note with that is this bolt right here actually has a couple of ribs on it that prevent it from spinning inside the shackle to be a little bit safer in here. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is actually maneuvering my way under the trailer so I can get these nuts off of the back side. So I will move myself to do that. Alright, now that I'm under here, I will mention that the jack stands are placed under these brackets that are right here. And that is specifically because I wanted it on the steel bracket of the leaf spring rather than on the aluminum. I didn't want to risk denting it all by putting all the pressure of this side of the trailer directly on one small point of the jack stand. So make sure to put it on the steel. And then also, it does point out, make sure to use jack stands, because if you're using just a scissor jack, just a hydraulic jack, anything like that, and you're underneath a vehicle, trailer, etc., that's very dangerous because of failure. You really want to make sure that you're using a jack stand that's rated for what you've got here. My weight rating's under that handle. I was going to show you the rating, but I can't see it. So, but either way, my trailer comes in roughly 2,000 pounds. Just make sure you've got jack stands that are rated for it. So, all right, I'm going to take off the nut that's on the inside here. There's 2 of them. All right, now here's your next tip. I've actually put the nuts back onto the 2 shackle bolts here because with these having ribs on them to keep them from moving around, I'm going to have to hit them with the hammer. So by putting the nuts back on right here, on the very ends of them, I thread them on a bit. I don't risk bunging up the threads on it, and that way it's reusable. There you go, right there. So I'm going to take these off. There's that shackle. And as you can see right there also, got a big difference in shackle height. And let's see, I can see that the top of this shackle bolt is a little bit high, so I'm going to lower this down to be able to get that out. There we go. So those popped right out. And now, let's put these nuts back on here, because what I want to do with those ribs is use the hammer, just knock those out. Knock the shackle out, I mean. There we go. See, it popped off right there. See if I can get this other one out. Ta-da! Alright, now you can see I've got to lower that axle to be able to fit these pins. So let's get that in there, and we'll just take this down, down, down. Not much working room over on this side because of the wall. There we go. You know, I bet I could do that by hand even. Can. Sweet. That works for me. Right there. Right there. Alright, I'm back under here so that I can get another shackle. Let's slide it over this side. There we go. And put these nuts on here. It's a pretty straightforward process to go through this whole thing and get it knocked out. You just want to make sure that the shackle is sitting on the shackle bolt part and not the threaded part. But yeah, other than that, this is one part where I'm going to use this wrench so I can help get the nut threaded back on here. Super easy. Alright, so for the next part, make sure you use your torque wrench, get it all set, and just come back to these bolts here, give it some pressure. You're going to hear that pop, and that's exactly what you want. Now this one's torqued, get the other one, and we'll get it off the jack stands. Alright, with that, we're all wrapped up. Now, I almost scrapped the entire video saying something's not right. I'm not going to put the information out there if it's wrong. So, I was really confused because I pulled out my tape measure, leveled the front and the back, making sure that it wasn't on that pivot point from the back tires coming up higher and this part at the tongue being lower. So front and back, I got it all leveled out. Bottom of the frame, 15 inches. Now wait, earlier in the video I said we started out at 15.5 inches. So by putting on a longer shackle, how did I lose half an inch? Didn't make any sense at all. And I adjusted 3-4 times, took measurements 3-4 times. I could not figure it out. But there you go, we are at 15 inches. Now the mystery has been solved. I had a piece of paper in my car from my measurements for this video. We started out at 14 inches. We gained an inch, and apparently an inch was all she needed. So that's the install. We're now at 15 inches off the ground. It's not that hard of an install, and really, might as well get it done, right? Who knows when that little bit of clearance might come in handy. I'm hoping when I pull out of my driveway here, I'll no longer be this close to scraping, so we'll see here in a minute when I do that test. But other than that, the shackles I'll put in the link in the description below so that if you do want them, you can buy those also and kind of do the same thing. Like I say, it was an easy install. So thanks for watching. Make sure to pitch a tent on that subscribe button. We'll see you on another adventure. Later.